Hello, how are yous? How's everyone this fine Sunday evening? Liam here, if you don't know already. Now, I'm really looking forward to this because it's my favourite time of year, Christmas. And this is the start of it. I'm starting from tonight and Sunday night, Wednesday night and Friday nights from 9 p.m. right up until Christmas. I'm going to be doing a different video, doing all sorts of different dishes for you. So tonight I've got a really nice one, and over the next few nights I'm going to be doing different stuffings for you. You'll be able to find these then, because I'm doing a whole Christmas section from my website. You'll be able to find these videos and the recipes on my website from next week onwards, when you actually do want to start cooking this stuff and shopping for it and so on. So I'll get all the videos done now. This I'm going to use my own spice range for this. So I got my sage and onion here. This is my Christmas spice, but I will give you an alternative to do it yourself if you want to do it yourself at home if you don't have my spices. Let me move that out of there. I'll show you the ingredients anyway. We'll start off with sage and onion stuffing mix. Mine, you can just simply use sage, some fresh or dried sage, a little bit of maybe garlic. You can use some black pepper, a little bit of salt, a little bit of mustard powder if you can get it as well. You can get a lovely yellow tin. Here, let me show you actually. I've got a big version of it here. The catering size. You can get a small one of those in Tesco's and Super Value and most of the supermarkets. Tiny little one of them. So anyway, we have breadcrumbs. So I have 6 slices of bread. This will make for 6 people, by the way. I have 6 slices of bread here, breadcrumbed. And just to make it nice, because it's Christmas, what I've done is I've cut the crust off. You don't have to, but you will have those brown bits through your stuffing. If you don't, then do you know something? When I'm doing Christmas or something like that, if I'm just doing a Sunday roast, it's just ourselves, then I won't bother. But if I'm doing something like Christmas or something, I will. It's worth it. Now, I have here sausage meat. This comes from a very good friend of mine in Clon, Gary Daly Butchers. If you're anywhere near a small butcher's, please support them. They are dying out there with this COVID going on. So please get into your local butcher, buy something, buy a packet of sausages, buy a packet of rashers, buy some eggs, buy something from them, please. This friend of mine, Gary, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at his shop there. And I hope he doesn't mind me saying he's doing a fraction of the business he normally would because of COVID. So yeah, if you're near Gary, get into Gary. I buy my turkey off Gary every year there in Clon, and yeah, fantastic quality. I rang him up there and said some sausage meat, and he had actually made his sausages. So he ended up stripping the skin off his own sausages, and he gave me the sausage meat. Now, a little hint for you: if you're doing this, a really good thing to do is actually get sausages and take this casing off it and then mix it like that. Why? Because the seasoning's in the meat then. If you just buy plain sausage meat, it's not seasoned and you're trying to season it and so on. Whereas this, smell of that smells gorgeous. It smells like a lovely, lovely sausage. So, what else do we have? We have bacon. This is optional. You don't have to wrap it if you don't want to. You can just do a plain sausage meat stuffing. I will show you how to explain what to do that if you don't want to wrap it in bacon. This is just Super Value is closest to me, that's why it's not out of preference. So you need about 6 to 8 rashers to do this. Maybe even up to 10, just in case if you make it that little bit bigger. And you need an onion, drop of oil, some cling film. That's basically it. So let's get cracking. We'll get stuck in straight away. Move all of that out of my way. And we will cut our onion. I'm going to slice our onion. So all you do is you cut it in half. And again, on my much neglected YouTube channel, which is about to change because I will be doing proper videos now, then I'm looking for a video editor. You can see how to chop onions and stuff like that. So go over and check that out. And you'll be able to see very quick 10-second videos how to chop onions and do broccoli and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just going to chop this. There we have our onion. I like it a little bit coarse. I don't like to make it too small for stuffing. Because what I do like to do is I like to soften the onions in my pan. which I grab now. So we stick this on, flick this bad boy on here, manual. Now let me give you a little bit of a hint. Don't put it up too high. Number one, where's my butter? Order. There it is. Let me give you a little bit of a hint with this. So if you're doing anything with butter, butter will burn quite quickly in your pan. So if you're doing butter, the best thing to do is, now about a quarter of a pound of butter in there. The best thing to do is add a tiny little drop of oil as well. Just a tiny little drop, like a teaspoon is enough. And that then will stop the butter from burning as much. It'll still burn, so be careful if you have to heat too high. It just won't burn as easily. Now, we can turn that up just a little bit more and get the heat into the pan. Get the heat in the pan, we'll turn it back down then just for the sake of the video. This is induction, so it heats up quite quickly. Now, at the same time, while that butter is melting, grab your onions and stick your onions in. And you want these onions to sweat. You don't want to fry them, you don't want to colour them. There's nothing colouring your onions when they're after taking all that brown out of the breadcrumbs, because we don't want that colour. Now, lovely. I'm mad busy, so I'm not very organised for my video tonight. Please forgive me. The amount I'm on at the moment, trying to get all your spices out to you. The Christmas spices arrived from my supplier. I will be producing these myself now once my kitchen is up and running early in the new year. I'm designing a whole new production kitchen, and I'll be having a whole new kitchen for doing videos and everything, and the people to help me do it all. So everything is going to dramatically change in the new year for BiaMaith. Thank you to my Auntie Joan. So see that? And turn it down now. This is an induction, I don't want it too hot. We want it to sweat. Remember, we don't want these to colour. So that's pretty important. Now, if you have it, garlic. Get your garlic in there. Stick, say, 2 or 3 cloves of garlic in there. I have somewhere. There we go. I have the tube of garlic. It's great. I'm just going to put about a teaspoon in there. And the reason I'm going to put a teaspoon is because I have my spice mix that has garlic in it. Now, lovely, just get that mixed around nicely. Those onions are sweating beautifully. So now, if you've got my spice mix, then you just need, very simply, tear the top off, open it. Now, I've been generous to you this year because there's more than enough here to do 2 dinners. So give it a nice little shake around, just so that anything that settles, you know. And then a nice tablespoon, good heaped tablespoon, and then another tablespoon. And see, we've got the same left again in there. Give that a mix around, turn it down. Oh wow, that smells divine. It smells so good. And what happens is that's just going to bring the flavours out of there, the onion, the garlic, the sage, everything that's in that lovely spice mix. Where the flavours will come out there and the butter, and you start to really smell it. Keeping it heat nice and low, get it nice and soft. Now, let's move that out of the way and jump over onto this. Here's our stuffing. So I have 1 kilo in this. 1 kilo is ample. You can get away with 500 grams at home. Remember, about 6 to 8 slices of bread. In it goes. So yeah, my spice mixer is designed to cater for 12 people. Rather than, so if you're cooking for 6, then use half the pack. Let's keep that a nice little mix around. And there's stuffing. Now, if you just want a regular sage and onion stuffing, that's it. I've just made simple sage and onion stuffing. And that's enough for 4 people. See, portion of that, ham, this, turkey on top. Now turn that down because the bread will burn. I should just turn it off at this stage. So that's that done. That's just simple sage and onion stuffing, right? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little taste of that. Oh, that was so good. I promise you, you make that alone and you haven't got time to do anything else, you're worried about it's too complicated to do anything else, you'll be good with that, trust me. Now, I don't need to put seasoning into this because it's seasoned, because it's sausages that have been used. If you're not using sausages, then I strongly recommend you put, for a kilo of that, you put a teaspoon of salt and you put 2 teaspoons of black cracked pepper, and you end up with about half a teaspoon of pepper in through that. It'll be lovely. You can also put some sage into that as well, like a tablespoon, say, of dried sage into that as well. Not necessary, but it will be nice. It'll give it that a nicer flavour. So now move everything off my chopping board. Grab some cling film. The beauty about this is you can make this in advance and freeze it, and it'll be all the better for it. There's those flavours from the spices and stuff. Now, taking cling film with rubber gloves on at the same time is a bit of a pain. So roll your cling film out. And the same again. Now, remember, if you're doing this on a counter, don't cut your counter. This is a chopping board, so I'm fine to do that. Now, see my cling film. Now, this is a catering cling film. It's better. You'll find this in most catering places. Look online. Sweeney O'Rourke above in Dublin do it, or Kendamar in Dublin, if you're in Dublin as well, they do it. And you buy that and cling film and all sorts. It's far cheaper. Anyway, I digress. So grab your stuffing, grab your rashers. Open up our pack of rashers. Now, let me get rid of that. And here you go. So this is quite simple now. Just pay attention to the technique. It's really, really simple. So you put one down, and then you layer the other like so. Alright, same again, and overlap just a little. Just let them see there. Can you just see that? I don't know if you can. Let me have a look. Oh, there's a thing blocking it. I don't know why you got about half an inch I've overlapped there. And then, so you got your thick side here against your thin side here, and in it goes. And do that all the way along. Another way you can do this as well is you can do this with potato stuffing. It doesn't have to be the meat. And you can use the vegan rashers as well to do this. So if you're feeding a vegan, you can do this as well. Just make sure to use the vegan rashers. And if you're frying rashers as well, or not frying them, I beg your pardon, grilling rashers, do it the same way. Just obviously don't have the gap, don't have the overlap. Just put them side by side. So, what's in that? 6 rashers, is it? It's not enough. We need about 8 rashers to do this. Here we go. Yeah, lovely. No seasoning. If you notice, I have no salt in any of this. I don't use salt in my cooking. Excuse me, I don't use salt in a lot of my cooking. You definitely don't want it in this because you're using the rashers and using the sausage, which have already been seasoned. So you definitely don't want it. So, right, grab your sausage meat. And all we'll do is push it down. And you have it about a ½ inch thick. And then spread it across. Now, if you find it sticking, wet your hands, or even rub a little bit of vegetable oil onto your hands. In fact, do you know what I'll do? I shall show you. Just a little bit. Best to use gloves if you have them. If you don't have gloves like I'm using, you know the household marigold gloves? Buy some of those. Buy red ones, and that's your meat gloves. Then you can wash them each time when you're done with them. Keep them just for doing meat, so you know they're the red ones, and you're not going to be doing cleaning with them and stuff. Use yellow or whatever for cleaning, you know. So lovely, we've got that nicely spread out now. So over to our stuffing. Yeah, it's a little bit hot through the gloves, and all you're doing is the same thing. We're just spreading that along. Best to let this cool. For the sake of the live video, I'm not, but it's best if you let it cool first. Not too much, by the way, because what will happen is the butter will set and it won't spread very well. It'll be clumpy, so not too much. It'll have like warm, kind of Lukish warm. And when you get to this stage, leave it for about 10 minutes to let it then kind of cool as much as you need it. So now, I haven't used all of that. Check that out. And now, this is the, I won't say hard bit. Roll over, okay. And you're pulling your cling film out as you're rolling, okay? See? I'm rolling it nice and tight. I'm pulling my cling film around and out. Yeah. Now, let's just move that aside for a moment and get rid of these gloves. Oh, stuck to my fingers. Where did I put my cling film? There it is. So, back to your cling film again. And exactly the same as what we just did. Where are you? There it is. Except for this time, overlap it just a little bit more. Now, you see me bald head sticking out there. And now, what we're doing is we're going to roll sideways, twisting the sides as you do it. And then rolling along, grabbing the side and twisting. Rolling along and twisting. Okay, and then when you get to the stage where it's just rolling nicely for you, and you don't have to twist it, it'll just twist itself. Now look at that, and it's nice, smooth. Now the best thing to do with this is give that 24 hours in your fridge. That's the best thing to do. You take that out and try and cook it now. I just wash my hands. You take that out and you try and cook that now. It's going to be a right nightmare. It's going to fall to pieces and all sorts. You leave that for 24 hours in the fridge. The butter is going to set, and your bacon will stick around the sausage meat and so on, and it will hold its shape. So take it out, stick it on a pan. When you're ready to serve, look at the mess here. It's not a clean dish, is it? It's quite a messy one. So when you take that out, then I'm not going to do it now, but I will do it in another video. I won't do it now. It's quite simple. All you have to do is, you got a couple of choices. You can put it on a roasting tin as is, but just make sure when you do it that this side is down. Okay, that the side with the rasher's meat, that's down, and this side is facing up. Why? Because they'll stop it from parting. You can seal it on a pan if you like. If you're good with stuff, if you're, kind of know what you're doing, seal it on a pan. Use tongs to lift it up, a spatula and a tongs to lift it up, and so on. Do that till it's brown, just slightly browned around to give it a bit of colour. But it's not 100% necessary, because you can stick it in like that. What I would do, personally, is I would put that into the oven when I'm doing my turkey. And I would, when my turkey's almost finished, and then I would get some of those lovely turkey juices as this was roasting, and I just tablespoons, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons every 15 minutes over that. That's going to take 45 minutes to an hour to cook at 180 degrees on a roasting tin. And greaseproof paper, very, very important. If you put that directly onto a roasting tin, remember you're taking the cling film off when you're cooking it. If you put it directly onto a roasting tin with just the rashers directly touching the roasting tin, it's going to stick and you're trying to pull it apart. Can you freeze it raw? Yes, you can, Catherine. Definitely, you can. In fact, if you freeze it raw, it's easier then, because you can brown it really easy, because it's frozen as a lump. You can brown it easy, and you can take it off then, and you can let it defrost after you've browned it. Does that make sense? So freeze it. When you're going to use it, take the cling. Here, let me get rid of this thing. I'll show you first of all on it. Greaseproof paper, preferably non-stick if you can. Put that down in your roasting tin, and then put that down. Now, anyway, back to Catherine. So, Catherine, yes, if you want to freeze it as is, just like that now. Then take it out. Say, I take it out Christmas Eve morning. Brown it, not long, I'll give it 10 minutes out. Take the cling film off. You'll find the cling film will stick to it otherwise if you don't give it that 10 or 15 minutes. Heat a little drop of oil in a pan, just like so. Take this off and then stick it in on top of your pan, and just gently turn it and brown it all around. Take it out then, put it on your roasting tin, ready to go into the oven. Leave it there, just put a bit of cling film over the top of it, leave it there, and it'll be ready. Then that's going to need an hour, maybe in 15 minutes. It's very important, because you've got raw sausage meat in there. It's essential that you get it cooked all the way through. That's very important. It must be piping hot and cooked all the way through. If not, you could make everyone in your family very, very sick. You get a cloth and clean that off. What else? If you want to do that, you can change that up. You can do a vegetarian or vegan version, as I said. If you use that, what are they called? The Moody's, is it? They're a lovely couple, and they do a vegan rasher. I'm not a big fan personally, to be honest with you now. It wouldn't be my thing, but then why would it be my thing when I can have the real thing, not being a vegan? But I'm sure anyone who's vegan loves them. I've spoken to some friends who are vegetarian and don't have vegan friends. spoke to some friends who are vegetarian and said they love them. So, and they're an Irish couple as well. I must look for the details about those. They're well worth looking into. So you can do that, exactly that with that. Also, what else can you do? You can just use sage and bread stuffing to do that as well. And for that, allow it to go cold, much colder. You don't want it warm. And when it's that bit colder, what will happen is you can ply it more, so you can shape it. And then you can wrap the bacon around it when it's shaped like the sausage, you know. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's about everything. So, see this side here now, actually, there's one thing. That side is a little bit thicker, so that's not going to cook evenly. So just then all you have to do is give it a nice wrap again, okay? And get them even. I'm messing my board again that I'm after cleaning. So that's it. That's tonight's video. Listen, thank you for watching. I shall see you on Wednesday, and on Wednesday, I haven't figured out what I'll do yet, but I'll do a nice video for you guys on Wednesday. It'll be Christmas themed, something along the lines of stuffing. If you can support my work and what I'm doing, you get your amazing spices here. Boiled ham seasoning goes into your ham water as you're boiling your ham. That's all you do. Pour the whole thing in if you've got a big ham, say for 12 people or more, and if you've got 6 people or so, just pour half of it in and then just boil your ham as normal. Turkey seasoning goes over your turkey. Gorgeous, you're going to love that one. Brussels sprout seasoning, this is cool because this, see that? That's smoky bacon, but it's vegan smoky bacon. So flavour inside your Brussels sprouts, so that's going to be well nice. There's my ham glaze. My ham glaze, you see, has aged port, and I use raspberry conserve and everything. It's a really, really, really good ham glaze. I love it. I'm very proud of it. And then literally just seen my sage and onion stuffing mix. There'll be videos to go with all of these, and there'll be a PDF and everything to go to all these before Christmas for you. So, and then I'll be doing them myself on Christmas, and you'll be able to see them live. Anyway, listen, thank you for watching. If you want to get those, have a look at my store, BiaMaith.com/store. I'll stick the link above. I'd appreciate your support. It keeps things going here and pays the bills. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall see you on Wednesday with another video. Oh, by the way, shortly I'm going to do the competition. So look down my timeline and look for the competition where I have a lovely saucepan set, a really, really good saucepan set to give away. So yeah, look down there and comment quickly because I'll be doing it, say 10 o'clock. I'll do the draw and I'll pick a winner for that. So anyway, listen, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you on Wednesday. Bye bye.